And then when you are a member of the church, you have clergy. Everybody say clergy. By clergy, that's a code word that rhymes with all them other things. And basically it means you have a pastor. One of the privileges of belonging to a church is you have a pastor. Can I ask you a question? How come you got a doctor and you ain't got a pastor? You got a dentist? You ain't got no pastor? I bet you got a barber. You ain't got no pastor? You got a beautician? You ain't got no pastor? You got a therapist? You got a mechanic? And you don't have a pastor? I'm not talking about Oprah. I'm not talking about Dr. Phil or Dr. Oz or Judge Mathis. I'm talking about a pastor. I'm not even talking about some evangelist that you see on YouTube that don't know you from Adam's house cat. I'm talking about a pastor. I'm talking about a man or a woman of God that you have a relationship with that cares about your spiritual development. When you belong to a church, you have a pastor. Now, I'll be honest with you, y'all know I ain't the kind of pastor that's gonna be at your house eating your chicken every Sunday. I'm not doing that. I'm not that kind of pastor. I like chicken, but I'm not that kind of pastor. I'm not that kind of pastor that's gonna be hobnobbing and hanging out. Now, I'm not that kind of pastor. I'm just not. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that, but I'm just not that kind of pastor. But I tell you one thing, Faith Ministries Church, you know you got a pastor. Some of you, I haven't spent 5 minutes with in the 30 years we've been here, but you know you got a pastor. Some of you, I meet you in Kroger's and you say, hey, pastor, and I'm like, But you know you got a pastor. And doesn't that take a relief off your shoulders? When even if the pastor doesn't know your name, you know you got a pastor. You know when you get up in the morning, you don't have to ask, is there any word from the Lord? You just put your clothes on and come here because you know there's going to be a word from the Lord. You don't have to ask, is the preacher going to be preaching the gospel? Is the preacher going to rightly divide the word of truth? You come because you know you got a pastor. You don't have a hireling. You don't have a wolf in sheep's clothing. You have a pastor. You have a pastor that will marry you when you want to get married, that will dedicate your babies, that will bury your loved ones, that will pray with you and pray for you, that will counsel you, that will tell you the truth even when you don't want to hear it. And that is a privilege of being a member of a church. I got a pastor. Turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, I don't know what church you belong to, but I got a pastor. Looking out for your spiritual development, for seniors and for couples and for young adults and for youth and for children and for men and for women. Even if I don't personally know the pastor, his vision is touching my life because I got a pastor. Got a pastor.